Hi everyone, welcome back to another video with me, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Elony'a. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a master Reiki practitioner and teacher, and I started my very own holistic health practice called Divine Minds CCHT. And my purpose here is to share some of my knowledge that may help to guide others towards their healing or to reconnecting with themselves on an even deeper level. Now today, I want to talk a bit more about past life regression therapy. And if you're new here, you may not know I've already posted a video describing what past life regression therapy is. I recommend you check out that video first and come back and watch this one next. I will dive a bit into what past life regression therapy is in this video, but I want to explain it on an even deeper level, using past life regression therapy to heal. So, starting off with what is past life regression therapy? Now, past life regression therapy is exactly what it sounds like. It is a process where, with the guidance of a certified clinical hypnotherapist such as myself, who is specifically certified in past life regression therapy, you are guided into a relaxed hypnotic state to explore what feels like a past life experience. And this is specifically where a lot of the confusion comes in, and that's completely understandable. So past life regression does not necessarily mean that you are revisiting a past life. While some people may believe that these are past life memories, according to studies, we can't really say whether or not this is a genuine past life memory that we're experiencing, or if it's our mind using its creative abilities to help us to access what's been hidden within our subconscious mind. So moreover, it could be a subconscious memory from a past life, or it could be our subconscious mind using its very intelligent, imaginative capabilities to portray what's been hidden and locked within our subconscious mind, whether that be from previous memories, experiences, emotions that have happened during this lifetime. So whether you believe that these experiences are true memories or simply expressions from our inner world or our subconscious mind, the healing that is happening through this process is very real. I just like to remind clients that past life regression therapy does not involve any specific religion, religious beliefs, or belief systems. It is simply a hypnotic tool to have a journey inward, to explore our subconscious mind, our subconscious memories, emotions, things that we've been holding on within our inner world. And just a quick example, think of it like dreaming. Every night when we dream, we often experience these vivid stories that may not have ever happened within our waking life. 9 times out of 10, it is just our imagination running wild while we're sleeping. These aren't real memories, but maybe small snippets or pieces from real life memories, thoughts, emotions, experiences. Yet, most of these dreams are oftentimes rooted in our real life thoughts, feelings, or emotions. They are revealing to us what's happening beneath the surface, because every day we are functioning within our conscious, logical mind. So for the most part, we're not always facing our emotions right away. But that doesn't mean they're not there. That doesn't mean that they're not still stored within our mind. So they have to come back up and out at some point. A lot of times that is when we're dreaming, when we're journaling, when we're undergoing some sort of therapeutic practice or technique, such as somatic therapy, hypnotherapy, Reiki, things of that sort. The emotions, the thoughts, they have to come back up. We cannot suppress them forever. So, past life regression works the same exact way. Except, unlike dreams, where we often wake up feeling confused or unsure of the meaning behind some things that were depicted to us, in past life regression therapy, you remain awake but deeply relaxed the entire time. So during this process, since you are awake, you are the observer and also the participant in this experience. You're fully aware of what's happening the entire time, so you're able to explore on an even deeper level. Me specifically, when I am doing a past life regression session with clients, I like to ask questions along the way from more of that observation standpoint, so we can understand what the client is experiencing, since we can't see what's happening while they're going through this experience. It is like a visualization within their mind. So asking those questions can help both me as the hypnotherapist and the client to understand what's actually happening. Unlike in dreams, where we don't necessarily get to stop and question what's happening, we're just experiencing it. So let's talk more about the purpose of the practice. The ultimate goal of past life regression therapy, in my opinion, is healing at a more accelerated rate through deep experience. It's uncovering those hidden emotions, thoughts, beliefs, or patterns that we've been storing within our subconscious mind for who knows how long. It could be something more recent, or it could be something from one of our first memories. That is the magic of it. It could go back to some of the earliest times. For example, Dr. Brian Weiss, he has specific past life regression techniques where he is allowing clients or participants to experience a memory from childhood, or from when they were a baby still in the womb. It's very interesting to study and look into. And just like past life regression, this applies the same exact way. We are not exactly sure if this is really a memory or if it is our imagination working to uncover some things that we may not have known were in our subconscious mind. Another example, a client undergoing a past life regression session with a hypnotherapist, maybe they're experiencing a scene where they are a small child who doesn't feel heard or understood in some way, shape, or form. During this session, me as the hypnotherapist, I will gently guide the client with questions. This may sound something like, what are you seeing at this point in time? How are you feeling? Who is around you? Do you recognize anybody that's a part of your current life? Does anyone feel familiar from your current life? And things of that manner, just to kind of gauge where the client's at, what this means to them during their current life, even if it's being presented as a time that's much earlier. And these questions really help to explore what your subconscious is trying to communicate but hasn't had the chance to yet. Because in most instances, our subconscious mind is telling us what's happening behind the scenes, but we are suppressing it or ignoring it or not fully understanding the message that it's trying to portray to us. So during past life regression, this is the time where we can dive deeper and really try to understand the message that it's been trying to give us. And that's by asking questions, being the observer, and actually experiencing what's happening. And at the end of the past life regression experience, at the end of the session, after the perceived death, now you have to go through, well, you don't have to, but I take clients through the death process of that lifetime where they're not feeling any of the pain, but they are the observer in the experience to see how they may have died in this perceived memory or figment of their imagination. But anyways, at the death or the completion of that lifetime, I like to guide clients through the transition process where their soul self is leaving the physical body and is ascending to a higher spiritual realm. And this is what we call the after death process or after death phase, so that they can view this lifetime from a higher perspective. And from this point of awareness, you can reflect on the entire experience with a greater sense of clarity, compassion, and understanding as to what you are meant to learn, or the lessons that you are learning from that previous lifetime memory or figment of your imagination. And me as a hypnotherapist, I'm then going to ask even deeper questions. And it may sound something like, what was the overall purpose of this life? Or I'll gauge even deeper, like what were some of the most important lessons that you were meant to learn through these experiences during this lifetime? Or what message are you bringing forward from this experience? It's a very powerful moment of realization during the after-death process, where the symbolic or emotional lessons from your subconscious mind are finally making sense because they've been brought to the surface and you've actually gotten to experience them. And I think one of the most significant parts as well during the after-death process is I personally, as a hypnotherapist, like to guide clients to connect with their higher self more of an enlightened sense of awareness or consciousness, or I will connect them with their spiritual guides or ascended masters. So these are higher beings who, kind of remain and guide from the spiritual realm so that they can also help you to understand these major lessons you are meant to experience or that have been held within your subconscious mind. And this is always with the client's permission before the session starts, because this can get touchy in beliefs or religions. So of course, if the client's not comfortable with this or they don't truly believe and they don't want to experience this, of course, I'm not going to guide them through that process. Some people do believe in spiritual guides and ascended masters, or they're just okay with the idea that this is all a figment of their imagination helping them to heal. So if the client accepts this, then we'll go through that process. But if not, we bypass that process and we may just connect with their higher self, their soul self. But I want to go back to the example of a client undergoing a past life regression session where they are a child who didn't necessarily feel heard or seen. So when I'm guiding the client after the death process from a higher perspective, that client might come to understand that this lifetime or symbolic story that their imagination is showing them was meant to teach them to trust their own voice, to trust their own actions, or to honor their inner truth without needing external validation. But ultimately, this is where the healing begins. It's recognizing how patterns from the past, whether real or symbolic, whether from a past lifetime or this lifetime that's just been stored within the subconscious mind, how it may still be influencing who you are today. And through this awareness now, we begin to release these old emotions, thought patterns, healing these inner wounds and realigning with our authentic self versus past wounded versions of ourselves that we've still been acting out of or holding on to. And from my perspective, it is truly incredible to witness how understanding the why behind these subconscious patterns can bring such peace and transformation into the present moment and even into the client's future, because now they understand these past patterns and how they've been acting and reacting, and they can now act from a more authentic version of themselves. They get to choose how they want to respond. They're aware of these past patterns and get to choose if they want to keep acting, reacting, responding from them, or if they want to choose another way of being. And as a hypnotherapist, from my perspective, it is a very rewarding experience, not only to experience a past life regression session, but to guide clients through their very own journey. And no two sessions are ever going to be the same. And it's really interesting because neither I or the client understand or know beforehand what's going to come up during that session. It is a mystery. It's something to explore that's been hidden within our subconscious mind. It could be something from yesterday, it could be something from months or years ago. It's very interesting to see what we get to uncover during the session. The subconscious mind is very vast. It's storing so many memories, experiences, emotions, and impressions that our conscious mind isn't always aware of when we're in our normal waking, logical state of mind. And sometimes what surfaces during these sessions are the exact messages, memories, or metaphors that we most need to see in order to heal something that's been really triggering us for a very long time. Now I want to talk about the integration and the continuance of healing. Now I personally recommend giving yourself time to integrate what you experienced after each and every session before scheduling another. And just like I previously suggested, you never know what's going to come up during a session. So one session you may be working on healing rejection wounds, something of that manner. And if you schedule a next session within the weeks to follow, you may be working on healing something completely different, or it could be something that is related to this rejection wound. You never really know. So sometimes a second or third session will pick up where the first one left off, but that's not very common. And sometimes it will reveal something entirely new. Now that is much more common during past life regression sessions. Now, each session adds a new layer of healing, clarity, and understanding that you may not have known that you were needing or looking for, but it's helping you to connect even deeper with yourself in your soul's journey during this current lifetime. That is the main purpose, regardless of the name, past life regression, regardless of your beliefs or your religion. The ultimate purpose is to understand what you need to heal in the present time so that you can have a more authentic future, one from your choices, your decisions versus past patterns, responses, emotions, thoughts, beliefs, moving out of that and having a much more aligned life. Whether you view past life regression as a spiritual exploration of past lives or simply as a subconscious healing technique using your imagination, the truth remains the same, that the healing is real. So it's not necessarily about whether something has actually happened within another lifetime, whether it's actually a memory or not, but it's about what your subconscious mind is ready to reveal to you in that exact moment during your session, and how this newfound awareness can shift the way you are living, thinking, and feeling today and into your future. So if you're curious about past life regression therapy, if you have any lingering questions, or if you'd like to experience it for yourself, feel free to comment below. I offer free consultations where I can talk you through any of your questions and intentions before scheduling a session. You can find me on social media at Divine Minds CCHT, or you can visit my website at www.divinemindsccht.com. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care of your mind and your body, and I hope to see you all next time.